Reality shows in Korea, they've been hits of this 무한도전 or Infinite Challenge that's been a huge hit across the world, not just in Korea, making the participants or cast of the show superstars. Some of the key to their success is that stars, celebrities, go through some difficult situations trying to live a day, a slice of life from the more challenging parts of Korea, like the rural farming areas, where they continue to experience or contribute to the uh, local economy or the local neighborhood, the local society, while they're learning the ropes. Of course, they go through bumps and bruises, slipping and getting wet and going through some pain and toil, and there's the reward that comes at the end, and it really appreciates. It can be a very appreciative journey for the audience. But somehow, reality TV has changed considerably, perhaps in tune with the era of social media, where they only want to show some lavish spendings and lifestyle, and something that people would aspire to hopefully one day be able to dip their toes into. So, this one program about living alone, which started with a noble purpose of showing people, celebrities, uh, living in one person households and how they go about their lives. So initially, it showed some of the challenges involved, but later it kind of regressed to show some of the key members sharing their lavish lifestyles about how they're holding these wonderful parties at home involving crazy uh, carpet full of gourmet dishes, showing their amazing uh, apartment complexes, which few people can afford, and things like that, which really ticked people or rubbed people the wrong way. Why are we watching these things? Why do you think we want to watch this? So some of the cast did not become crowd favorites. Of course, their um, fame reached new heights because a show was on, and I suppose it had some following, but I think they had more negative perceptions formulated around them and more critics or anti-fans of these characters. One particular individual is Pangnare. She is not exactly a great comedian, but she tries. She did have her moments, but she became somewhat of a star of that reality show, and she continued to branch out to other things like stand-up comedies that just lewd and just continually talk about peepees and wieners and things like that. Um, but somehow she was always in the spotlight, always on that program, although there were constant criticisms about people not wanting to see much of her. But now she hit rock bottom with her managers or former managers or people close to him exposing her as someone that abused her authorities, having them do everything. Like, for instance, I talked about how they had a red carpet full of amazing food and drinks and home parties and things like that. She had her managers set everything up and pretend it was her, and they weren't given due compensation. So this went on for many years, and they exposed her for her abusive behavior of making them do other errands that are not entirely directly related with their main line of work as managers or people working for her agency. And of course, there are a lot of questions about who's had her back, because there were a lot of complaints, there were a lot of issues. Viewers did not appreciate her, but she was around. But now, along with this, there's also a violation of a medical law because of some illegal IV that she had administered for herself while she was on the road, and the person who did that was not a qualified physician nor a doctor, and that person is also exposing her over her behaviors or rather that unqualified or not really technically qualified individual who served as her physician or a nurse or a doctor who administered IVs also came forward to complain about her behavior.